Good morning. Good morning and good morning. How you doing? Okay. I went to sleep last night and didn't put my phone on charge. Okay, so it got up this morning, was a little sleepy. So I got in almost 30% charge. So hopefully we on board for the time I'm going to talk to you. But I'm just going to say good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good night's rest. Hope you're ready for the day. Today is September 1st. You all hear me? There's only 4 more months: September, October, November, December. We're almost out of 2020. And everybody knows 2020 has been something we have never seen before. And we pray not that this is how 21 comes in, okay? We're praying that they're going to have a vaccine that works and that, the civil unrest in certain portions of the country, the marching, the this and the that have all subsided. We're just praying that things are going to turn around. Good morning, Maurice. I love Maurice. Maurice, we got to talk on the side. I need you to give me a call. I got something to ask you. But anyway, that's on the side. But anyway, how is everybody this morning? I'm excited. I'm excited. Look, today we're going to talk about walk. And, every day I'm inspired by something. Every single day before I sit down and put some ideas down for my next day's presentation, I'm always thinking about, well, what happened during the day. And ironically enough, I was talking to somebody, and we got to talking about, walking around the mall and walking here and there. And I said, what is our walk? How do we get to it? Are we walking? All those kinds of things. And it just dawned on me that many of us have become sedentary. We've become, couch hounds and TV hogs, and we don't do anything physically for ourselves. But every day I try to do something, even if it's just, I told you about 2 weeks ago, I was telling you that I get up in between, I get when the commercials come on. Hey, Kiwanis. And when the commercials come on, that's when I get moving. I try to move at the commercials because the commercials are long. Good morning, Joan. And therefore I can get a good, almost 3, 4, 5 minutes in. That'll tell you how much they wasting your time fooling around with the old crazy stuff that they do. They give you 5 minutes of TV and 10 minutes of commercial. Okay, excuse me. We've been ripped off. We've been conditioned. And so if we use that time that they're talking for our time to exercise, we might be doing good. But anyway, had to find us a poem, and so I went online and I found this poem. And you know what? Thank you, Kiwanis, because I'm laughing. Good morning, Barbara. I'm laughing because I put all these colors together, and I said it was a little gray outside. I said, but I'm getting ready to pop up some color today. I'm gonna come with all kinds of color, and whatever I have on, there you go. That's what I got. So anyway, I got on some of everything. So hopefully the color won't bother you, won't distract you. I had a student one time told me that the teacher had a gold tooth, and the gold tooth, because I was a school counselor, and the gold tooth just attracted them. So every time they saw the gold tooth, they'd follow the tooth and not the teacher. So I'm just saying, don't get distracted by all this color today. Good morning, Ruth. How are you doing? So today we're going to read something by William Wordsworth. And it says, Sweet Walk. It says, Sweet was the walk, a poem by William Wordsworth. So anyway, here we go. It says, Sweet was the walk along the narrow lane. At noon the bank and hedge rose all the way, shagged with wild pale green tufts of fragrant hay, caught by the hawthorns from the loaded wain, which age with many a slow stooped strove to gain, and childhood seeming still most busy took his little rake with cunning sidelong look, sauntering to pluck the strawberries wild unseen, now too on melancholy's idle dreams, musing the lone spot with soul agrees, quiet and dark, for through the thick wove trees scarce peeps the curious star till solemn gleams the clouded moon, and the calls me forth to stray, though tall green silent woods and ruins gray. You know, this poem is about a walk that apparently William Wordsworth, and he was born between 1770 and 18 and died in 1850. There was a walk that he did from his childhood throughout his adulthood, through almost to his death, which said all the things that had changed during the time, things that he saw in his childhood, the straw with the rake and the strawberries, to when he saw things, changing so much. They had grown tall, they had grown wild, they had grown beautiful, but it was his walk that discovered them. That's what I'm asking you this morning. What's in your walk? What do we do with our walk? What? Hey, Ruth, glad to see you here. And so what do we do with our walk? And when we walk, especially if we walk the same paths, do we pay attention to how things are changing? Are we changing as we're walking? What is in our walk? What's in it? Is it just for our physical, continence, or is it for our view, our view to see the world differently, our view to see the changes in the world that are going on? Good morning, Deborah. So when we walk, and Deborah's a fierce walker. Deborah, I think maybe, I don't know how many miles, Deborah, write how many miles you walk a day when you're walking. I know you and your husband Walter walk a lot. And so walking is not just for the purpose of feeding our bodies, the ability to have more strength, because the more walking you do, the more walking you're capable of doing. But it's also for us to see, it says to see the beauty out there. Hello, John Soto, how are you? It's to see the beauty. What's out there? What's among the trees? What's on the ground? And you walk the same path the next day. What's changed? What's changed? Are you seeing more squirrels? Are you seeing more birds? Was there a storm overnight? So therefore there's trees that are down or limbs that are down. So or do you see the same people on your walk every day and they're on their porch? Maybe they're having coffee. Do you wave to them? Do you see the same people? Or maybe you walk with other people. So in their absence, what's happening? Oh, it's good to know that you're well, John. Wonderful, wonderful. So what happens is that in our walk, it's not just a walk for our health. It's a walk for the beauty that we see. She says, okay, now this is Deborah. Deborah says, I walk 4 miles during the weekday, and now just 2 miles. Is that on the weekends you walk 2? Oh, now 2 miles. You were walking more. Okay. I used to walk a lot, and I tell you, I have changed, because I need to get back to it. But I do walk in my house. And I have stairs in my house. So I do some stairs during the day, up and down. And sometimes what I do is I purposefully leave something upstairs that I have to go back up there to get it. So then that'll make me come down. And then I have to go back up there to get it. And so I kind of do that for myself all day long, just to keep a little stamina going. Because you know what? This sitting around, because I think what a lot of people did is once the pandemic hit, not only did they come home and sit, they came home and they laid down. They came home and they did nothing. If you're one of those people, you don't have to tell it, but just put a dot in the in the corresponding thread here. Say, yeah, I'm one of those people. I've had a lot of people tell me that they've gained weight. Not that they're eating as much as they may be eating more, but not as much as they could eat, but because they're no longer moving anymore. They're just staying still. They're staying still. So anyway, it says, I have a doctor's appointment and must leave. Sorry. Oh, John, come back. I'm usually walking around in my house before and after, because I get excited about whatever I'm going to do. But it's good to hear from you. Good to see you. I'm going to tell Mr. Al you said hello. And also that his book is doing well, his children's book. We'll keep in touch, okay? Hope you're doing well. All right. So anyway, when we walk, we want to talk about it. But before I do anything else, I'm going to ask you, are you stuck? Periodically, yes, we are stuck. Some of us are more stuck than others. Some of us are just into not being able to move as much as we used to. We can't, see as well as we used to. We don't hear as well as we used to. So we may feel those things are stuck. But no, I say get some enhancement for it. Get some glasses. Get some earplugs. I mean, some earphones or something to make it wear some hearing aids. That's what I was trying to say. Get some hearing aids. Get something that makes your life important and makes it where you're not stuck as much as you're gonna be or could be. Because let's face it, we every day there's something to get us stuck. Every day. So anyway, it says walk. To walk is to move at a regular pace by lifting one set thing down in terms of your foot and then putting the other one down and walking forward. And it says it's your stroll, it's going to be your hike, it could be your stride. How many of you got a really quick stride? Like as small as I am, short as I am, people don't like walking with me because I walk fast. When I go home to New York, I remember we had to walk fast. You couldn't be like getting all caught up now. You had to walk. So it's something that I've continued to maintain. Okay, it says then, or you could take a prowl, you could do a trek, you could do a promenade. How about a promenade? If you all were to describe the cutest way you walk, put it in the thread, okay? Sometimes we do want to promenade. We do want to do it kind of slow. We have on something we think we like and we look well and we may want to promenade, okay? It says we can roam. We just roam around with or we could tread. We could moving fast. We could tread. We can move it on up. So I know for myself, I love to walk when I have time to do it. But most of the time now, I'm going to ride where I'm going to go to, run in real fast, walking real fast if I have to go to the market and then getting out. And I don't like going to Walmart, so I try to go to some of the other ones where there's just less people, but still has what I need to have. But sometimes, I have to trade up and go on over there to Walmart and deal with the rest of the folks that's out there walking in large Walmarts. But anyway, the W, I'm going to break it down. So the W of walk, and I know y'all hear the dog in the back there. He's deciding this morning that he's walking around his cage and pulling it and everything. But anyway, the W is for wander. When we walk, we could be wandering. And some people, they say after they no longer have the ability to remember things, they may wander easily, such as people who may have dementia or Alzheimer's. They're always worrying about the possibility of wander, where they end up in locations that they don't know how they got there, but they were wandering. So wander or move. And usually it says wander could be in a leisurely way, casual, aimless way, meaning it's aimless. They don't know how they end up someplace, but sometimes they do. It says to stroll, to walk, to saunter, to dawdle. I like that word, dawdle, to ramble, to meander, to roam, to rove, and to trudge. All those things could be what wandering is and what wandering does for whoever's doing it. I'm not a wanderer. Now, when I lose my mind, I might be. So if y'all see me someplace I don't have no place being, let me get back. You help me get back to where I belong. You let me get back. What are you saying, Maurice? He's walking too. Okay. All right. The A of walk is amble. Amble. I like that word. I always try to get words I like when I'm presenting anything. Because if you like a word, you not only give it to somebody, but they can remember it. They say, yeah, that's the word that, Winborn used. Hey, OJ. Hey, T. Good to see y'all this morning. So amble is to walk or move at a slow, relaxed pace. It almost is like wander, but amble means is that you're probably a little bit, you're paying attention to where you're going. It's a saunter. It could be a meander. It could be a promenade too. It could be where you tootle someplace. It could be a putter. Have you ever seen, I don't know if y'all remember Carol Burnett, and she always has, he would always call her Mrs. Wiggins. What's his name? I don't forget his name. But Tim Conway was his real name. But he would always just kind of use his little feet. And you'd hear him, and he wouldn't go very fast. He would just be barely making a step. And he would say, I'm coming. He'd never get there. He'd never get there. So that would be, what, a slow putter would be. They're not going very fast. It is just a mosey on along kind of thing. They're not using much of their leg capacity or their length or their span of their ability to walk. They just use it in very, very tiny steps. Okay, the next thing is to languor. That's also a walk. And a languor is the lack of energy and vitality. That is the way. That's a description of a walk. You don't have any energy to walk. So therefore your walk may be extremely painful, extremely troublesome for you. And I know a lot of people who have been sick, they've been stricken with illness, they might be considered to have a languid walk. Okay? Or it says they lack the vitality. There's a sluggishness to them. There's a physical weakness. Sometimes there might even be a faintness to their ability. They might have heart problems. They might have lung problems. They might have other sicknesses going on in the body. So there might be a languor for them. And it says, and it may have ability of inactivity, a laziness, a tiredness, an apathy, an idleness, a sluggishness, a torpor, or weakness. But all those things say that if they have to get up and they need to go and do something, it may be very difficult for them to do, and it may be considered what we would call a languor. And I know that I've had people that I've worked with when I worked in the hospital that had been stricken with heart trouble, or they were cancer survivors and just trouble. They were having trouble moving because the treatments were slowing them down. The heart was slowing them down. Whatever else was going on in their body was slowing down their ability to really walk well. And so they needed assistance. And so sometimes when somebody has gone through a process where they would consider their energy being languid, then they would probably need some assistance of some sort. And of course, the last word for the K is to keep doing it. Keep walking as much as you can. As even as languid as it may be, even as tortoise, what I call a tortoise hair kind of walking, whatever. Do something. Move. It says, so keep in this case means to continue or cause to continue a specified condition. So in this area, we're talking about just getting up and putting one foot down in front of the other, even if, even if it's going to take you a minute to get from here to the counter in the kitchen. Just do it. Because every day you can say, I'm going to add one more step next time. I'm going to add one more step. And that's how marathon running is done, is that people start out, with just a short run, very short, okay? And then they add, and they add, and they add. And before you know it, they've added to their ability, through their ability to breathe and their ability to control their body and feel energized and feel that they can conquer whatever's ahead of them. They're just going to keep going and keep going and keep going, and it adds to that. So to keep something is to remain, to stay with it, to continue to be. It says to go on being, not cease, to be, to carry on being whatever it is you want to be. So if it's the walk you need to do, if you can only get in 4 steps today, take those 4 steps. But if tomorrow you can add a half a step, add the half step, okay? Just keep adding to what it is that makes us live, that makes us have the ability to breathe and to see. Can you imagine what's in a walk if you're walking outside with nature? I used to always walk in my college, and I remember, in fact, my college yesterday I learned was one of the schools where they've had a large increase in coronavirus, and I think they had to send everyone off to not being in person classing, but actually doing it online, doing it as a virtual class. But sometimes that happens, we just know. But I used to getting back to school, I used to walk from, it was called the Union, the Student Union building, and it had this area where you walked all the way down this terrain. We were young, okay? You couldn't get me to do that for nothing. I'm going to walk on what I can see now. Who knew how many snakes we passed, or other bugs that could make us sick, poison ivy, whatever, but we would do it. And I mean, it was a heavy terrain, but it was behind this building, but it got us to town. It got us to town when we could go buy our sandwiches, and we'd make that trek and do it with, and it look quick, in a quickness. We would be quick doing it. And what we would do is we would go down, get our food, and come right on back up through all of that, whatever was down there. And this would be in the middle of the night, because that's when they'd stay open late, 12, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, for the students that were up all night studying. And we would make it. And I tell you, I couldn't do that now for nothing in the world. In fact, I see a bug and I'm freaking out. In fact, I'm troubled with bugs, but I found out that everybody else has those same bugs. So I just bought some self-made stuff that I probably didn't even need. Everyone's having trouble with them. So there it is. But anyway, in our walk, we should be trying to make it a continuation of what we did before. If you knew you were active before and you had to walk in your office, walk in your house. Okay? Go outside, walk around your house. In fact, speaking of Maurice sometimes goes outside, and I've seen him run around his house when he's doing his the usher during pandemic. Okay? He is funny as heck, and I love that about him, the fact that he constantly is moving, constantly in a way of doing something. It says walking. That's right. It was the cow path. And yes. OJ and I went to the same school, so she knows. Oneonta. Yes. That I couldn't remember the name of it. Thank you, OJ. But we would do it. We were crazy as heck. We were crazy. I couldn't do that now. There's no way I could. It would have to be cleared out down there. I wouldn't know. I'd have to actually see the ground. But before, we didn't know what was up there, because there would be bristly brushes of shrubs and everything around, old tree limbs, trees, whatever. We did it. But if you're walking now, put it in the thread. If you're getting an opportunity to put some time on your legs, away from sitting on your tail, what are you doing? Are you getting it in? And as I said, I know Deborah does it on a regular. I'm not doing it as much outside, because I find that writing books and now having another job that I'm doing virtually, I just have to, me and the TV, and I only keep the TV on not for any thing that I'm getting off of it, except those commercials. When the commercials come on, that's when I get up and do a little walk. And I'm trying to stay in my size. I am, but it's difficult, especially when people want to feed me when I see them. And so I've been taking matters in my own hands. I'm eating less and still trying to maintain. And it's working out okay. But I need to even do more walking. I'm going to take a walk or two outside, maybe over this holiday weekend. I'm gonna see if I can get my daughter and I to do a walk. Sign up for a walk with your family members. Say, let's take a walk. Let's go up and walk around the track, or let's go to the mall. Now I got to tell you something. I had to go to the mall with my daughter. So he walks around his neighborhood, Maurice does. I had to do get something in the mall over the weekend, and my God. Oh, tap dancing. Okay, OJ. All right, you getting a walk. You getting a lot of exercise in with tap dancing. But when I got to the mall was packed. It was packed. Too much for me, And some people had on masks, some people didn't. So I couldn't stay in there. I stayed in there long enough to do what I needed to do. And once I was done, I was done. I didn't want to go back. It's just not my thing to be up in there. I never went to the mall much before, but occasionally some of the things that I need, you can't get them in. And a lot of stores have closed. I was looking yesterday when I went down to the base to pick up a few items. I just noticed there's just so many things that have closed. It just lets you know that life has changed for us greatly. And so we still need to keep up our stamina. We still need to keep up our ability to enjoy life. and see it on the reel. And sometimes when you're driving, you may see things at a distance, but to walk is to see things up close. You can look at the flowers closely. You can look at the berries. You can look at the trees. And you can walk amongst the trees, which would be, to me, that's pretty cool. I kind of enjoy nature only if I'm walking in and out. No, I'm not going out and sit outside. No. Mm-mm. But I can do a walk long as I'm what I say, sprayed up with my off on and DEET, I'm good. But just to sit outside, no, unless you've already prepared for me to come. For me to be out there with you, then we're good. But other than that, no, 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 no. So here's some questions for today. I'm doing pretty good trying to keep y'all under 40 minutes. So that's what I was trying to do. I try to change everything where I talk faster and kind of be a little bit more concise. But anyway, today our area was walk. And I'm going to ask you this question. What is your walk? What is your walk? Do you walk? Do you walk on a regular basis? If you don't, can you commit to doing so? Even if it's in your house. Don't worry about it. You don't have to go outside. You don't have to go outside. And if you have a small house, do the same little steps. Did you see where the man, I think he was knighted by the Queen. I think she knighted him at the end of July. And she knighted him for the purpose that the fact that he committed to walking so many steps a day. And he was 100. He might have been over 100, but I know he was at least 100 years old. If somebody at 100 years old can do it, okay, then those of us who are in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, we can try to do something every single day towards our walk. Okay, so do you find that when you walk, you wander? Or are you a wanderer? Are you somebody that's just nosy? Because sometimes wandering could be good if you're conscious about it. Could be good. Say, I'm just going to walk over here and see what's going on. And I think I've told you about my mother. My mother did 8 to 10 miles a day, every day. My mother acted like walking was a job for her. And so every day she said, no, I got to go. And she would get up and she would literally go walking. And that would always just freak me out. I said, what did you have? I already did all of that. I already had my breakfast. I had my medicine. I'm out. And she would go walking. And my mother always kept her weight down by doing that walk that she did. And it says, do you linger in your walk? Do you struggle? If you have a struggle, some of us do. Write it down for yourself. You don't have to put it in there. But if you know that it takes you a long time to get up, a long time to do 5 steps, a long time, write it down. Write it down. And would you be willing, I'm asking you this off the cuff, would you be willing to add a few extra steps today? Hey, Kimberly. And sometimes we just have to add steps. We have to add something else that makes our journey a little bit further, that we got a little bit further up the road. Why? Because we decided that walking to the first corner wasn't enough. So now we're going to walk to the second corner, or we're going to walk all the way up to the main thoroughfare, or we're going to walk all the way up to the light. We're going to do something that says our walk is further than what we did yesterday. So we're going to walk. Okay. And last one says, if you haven't started walking, one, will you start walking? And 2, will you keep walking? So will you commit to walking? Will you commit to it? See, some of us commit to stuff, like I used to be the kind of person that I committed to dieting starting Monday morning. Child, by Monday night, I was starving and it was over. Okay, so sometimes we do that. But I say start and start and start. Because eventually it may hold on. You may be like, hey, I'm really liking this now. Because every once in a while, you may start something and not realize you like it until you really get into it. And that's what I did with my exercise, for, I don't know, like 8 years. I did regular exercise until the pandemic hit. And then I said, I'm going to back out of that because I had some conditions that I need to make sure that they still stay in check, and so I don't put myself in too many places where I could be much more vulnerable to becoming sick. But anyway, those are the things that I want you to do. I want you to walk. I want you to look after yourself. I want you to walk and look at the scenery. Look at what's outside. Oh, okay, Joan, you'll try. Good. Even if you do it in your house. Even if you do it in your house. Doesn't mean you have to go outside. Okay? Or walk around your own house. Walk around the barrier of your house. That would be good. What I was getting ready to say is when you look outside, when you walk outside, stop long enough to enjoy what you see. The trees, the flowers. I mean, I saw some flowers the other day. I had to go someplace, and the flowers were beautiful. And I just wanted to stop and look, but there was traffic behind me, so I didn't stop my car because I didn't know the area. And I didn't want anybody saying, what's she over here for? Hey, Marion, my friend, my dancing friend. How are you, sweetie? But anyway, we just want you to walk. I want you to walk more. Do more for yourself. It doesn't have to be that you're outside among people, but you can do it near your house. Do it around your house. Maybe do it in your neighborhood. Cover up, cover up, cover up. Certainly, wear your mask, wear your gloves. Do something that certainly protects you from the elements and also from people, that might have the virus. Okay? Stay busy, stay engaged, but do something for yourself every day that looks like you're moving, you're feeling better, you're just in a position of walking. Since I got caught by the rain on my walk yesterday. Okay, me too. I was out delivering some books, and it didn't look like it was going to rain when I went in with the books, but when I came out, deluge. Hey, Cheryl, glad to see you. But anyway, the point is that walking is important. And if we can do it, even if you do it with your commercials on the TV, every time a commercial comes on, you do it, guess what? You get some exercise in. You get some walking in. And you can walk in the same place, long as you don't have one of those rugs that shows every footstep, you're good. But if you have a hardwood floor, you have put on your sneakers and just walk. Just walk. Just feel better. Hey, Cheryl, it's good to see you. But anyway, I love you. I love you. I love you. I want you can go back and look at this video, but also share it. Would you please share it? Let people know I'm out here every day. No money in this. There's just my love to you, and I hope you're loving me back because there's somebody here that's just going to smile at you and say, hey, let's do this together. Let's get through this pandemic together. You have a great day. See you tomorrow. Do some walking. Don't get stuck in the rain or anything else. Bye-bye. See ya.